You know, those guys that go on an interview, I love watching guys on Instagram, they go to the Trump rallies and they interview people.
Yeah.
What does DEI mean? And nobody he interviewed knew what it could define it.
They didn't know what CRT meant. They just...
I just know it's bad.
And notice how they've moved on from CRT. They move right the hell on when they're done with something.
But also, I think people went, because I remember there was another interview during CRT. He goes, what does CRT mean? He goes, I don't know, but it's bad. He goes, well, you know, the weird thing about America is, don't you think we should know the history of America? Hell yeah, we should know the history of America. Yeah, we should know like the history of the Confederacy and everything. Yeah, we should know the history. You know, and so he goes, so CRT means
critical race theory.
Critical race theory. That's it. Which is
being critical of the racial.
Which was not taught in elementary schools.
We're not being... it was a...
It's just... That's what I mean. It's just a dog whistle.
Right. Critical race theory meant that basically it's only a critical race theory saying that white people have destroyed black people for 400 years. And it was only taught at the college level. So it's not critical. It's actually factual race theory. It's not even a theory. It's just factual history.
Yeah, it's not critiquing it.
It's not
like
critiquing.
I have an opinion. You know?
Yeah, we're not going. It was.
I don't know.
Yeah. You know, it was bad to treat black people bad. Well, that's critical. But you said it right. That's you're. I love how insightful you are. You said it perfectly. It's they knew a new trigger acronym.
And shit, they can apply that to anything. The
and that's
FBI,
why I think people are dumb. As soon as you say to me woke, I automatically think that you're dumb.
Yeah.
And people in my family have said it.
Yeah.
And I think that it displays ignorance because it means that you just pick up those dog whistles and repeat them with anger, even though
with no research.
It's not a thing. Yeah.
And no critical
have
thinking.
a conversation with me without regurgitating everything Donald Trump puts on Truth Social. I don't do that with Biden. I don't constantly go around saying it's no joke, you know?
Yeah.
We did it to mock him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In an argument, I'm not saying the same word over and over and over because Biden said it.
These fucking people who on the Democratic side didn't like Kamala's stance on Gaza because it wasn't exactly what they wanted. So I'm not voting for any of them. Great. Now you got a guy that wants to turn it into a fucking beach resort and he's going to try to get all the Gazans out of Palestine.
Through military occupation of our young men and women.
He's going to send, by the way, this has always worked out. Whenever you send a lot of troops into the Middle East, it always smooths right out. Yeah, through history, we can see that the Middle East has always gotten better.
But again, no wars, he said. Under me, we don't have troop occupation anywhere. No wars, no. And now...
But that's not true. But
we happen to know through military members of our family that...
And friends
that he is sending military to the Russian border.
Yep.
That's not being advertised.
On whose behalf?
He is sending... Exactly.
Panama.
But it was said as Russian border. He's sending troops to Panama. He's sending troops to Guantanamo Bay. One of my family members, former colleagues, is going to Guantanamo. I mean...
Troops to California to get their water?
This. Oh, wait. Troops are at the border, the southern border, for detention camps.
Greenland? Troops in Greenland.
So by the way, that's another thing. So he lost there. So he just fucking losing, man. Let's just talk about I'm going to tariffs. Tariffs are going down on Monday. On Monday, the market dropped 600 points. People are shitting themselves. He has a phone call with Canada and Mexico. Mexico says, all right, we're going to put 10,000 troops on the border. Well, here's what people, and if you haven't heard this yet, it's been pretty much all over. Biden in 2021 got Mexico to send 15,000 troops to the border, and they've been there. So Trump got it lowered to 10,000. That was his negotiation. So then on top of that, then he agreed to help her stop the flow of American guns into Mexico. So good negotiation, dude. Yeah, you nailed it. Then Canada's going to spend $1.3 billion on helicopters and security measures on the border. Well, that was signed with Biden in December of 2024. So Trump actually, all he did was cost people millions of dollars in the stock market. And we actually got less for him talking shit. Here's what happened. He said he was doing it to China too. China said, okay. And they imposed tariffs on us.
Yes.
But guess what? They won't talk to him. She's like, nah, I don't want to talk to you. We're good. Now he can't even get him on the phone. So this dickless, fragile white man, this president convict, basically in his first couple of moves has already put us behind where we were when Biden, the guy with dementia, left.
Wall Street Journal called it the dumbest trade war in history.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal because Smoot-Hawley was pretty bad.
I was just read a quote that it's an article on NBC News talking about how he actually didn't get anything for it. He says he got 10,000 troops there, but actually they were already there. They're just moving them closer together in one area.
Which won't cover as much. John
Feely, who's a career diplomat and former U.S. Deputy Chief of Mission in Mexico, he said, this is what I thought, this is so true. You're mistaken if you think there's a metric of success for Trump. Referring to like quantitative data, right? He's not reading spreadsheets or DEA reports. He's looking at headlines and social media retweets because fentanyl crossings had significantly dropped in the last 3 months under Biden at the end of Biden's term. And so had border crossings. They actually in Biden's final months reached fewer than 100,000 per month. Interdictions of fentanyl have also fallen sharply in those months.
He also demanded from Canada, so we get like, let's say 10,000 tons of fentanyl across the Mexican border at the peak. And he said, Canada has to stop the influx of fentanyl. 19 kilos the entire year. 19 kilos.
He's so clueless. Like, it's, how when he says like he learned a new word, like that everybody knows.
I call it.
Yeah. Because he's so fucking dumb.
A lot of people call it fowl or poultry. I call it poultry. He would say.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people call it chicken. I call it poultry.
They call it groceries.
We've got a new word. We've got a new word. When he says we got a new word, people don't use often.
When he says that,
what are you talking about?
He just had a new word last week, and we laughed.
Yeah. Although I will say this.
Let me just finish. Let me just say this real fast. On the Canadian side, he says that he got them to do a new border security and drug interdiction bill. They already did it under Biden in December.
I just said that.
He also agreed to appoint a border czar. Yep. He wanted a fentanyl czar.
Someone said that Trudeau just picked up the phone and goes, "Hey Phil, you're the border czar."
And it would be Trudeau like with a
glasses.
Here he is.
And the border czar's here. He's French, by the way. Because Canadian has French. Come from Montreal, the border czar. I am the czar of the border.
He's so easy to dupe.
It's also such a dumb, made-up name.
Yeah.
We have a border czar.
But also, then he guts the top of the FAA. We're on the road last week. Guts the top of the FAA. We have 3 plane crashes in 6 days.
Let me cover that.
He takes the head. Do you know why the head of the FAA got taken out? You guys may not know this, because you guys don't keep up with the news like we do. So basically, Elon Musk, whose rockets come apart like his marriages do, basically got fined because basically that rocket exploded and just spread shit over all of it. So he got fined like $600,000
by the FAA.
So he actually wanted the FAA guy fired, told Trump to fire him. So we've got this unelected South African immigrant who's telling our president what to do. FAA gets fired. The FAA top security chief gets fired. Plane goes down.
Timeline: January 20th, Trump becomes president. January 20th, FAA director fired. 21st, air traffic controller hiring freeze. 22nd, Aviation Safety Advisory Committee disbanded. January 29th, a week after that, first major midair collision in almost 2 decades.
And then he says
Then on the 30th, he blames Obama, Biden, Buttigieg, and DEI.
So basically, he blamed the administration that had a gay transportation secretary, everybody, and yet we had no crashes.
Yeah.
There was 0 crashes under the Biden administration because they didn't disband the fucking safety committee.